Am I an asshole for wanting to divorce my wife based on her behavior when I was sick? In November, I was hospitalized for 8 days due to a severe sinus infection. During this time, it made me realize that my wife doesn't care about me. I'm sorry, that's terrible. It all started in October when we were at a restaurant. I began to feel dizzy and nauseous like I was about to collapse. My heart rate spiked up to 150. We went to the hospital and they ran all the usual tests and they told me it was just a panic attack. I've never had one before, so I don't know if it was accurate. Over the next 2 weeks, I ended up in the hospital 2 more times. Each time I went there, my wife seemed annoyed about having to take me, like I was overreacting. The doctors continued to insist that it was still just panic attacks. Then a fever developed. I was scared to even mention it because I was afraid of being dismissed as traumatic. But when the fever worsened, I finally went to the hospital. This time, they started taking everything serious. They admitted me but couldn't figure out what was wrong. After 2 days on antibiotics, they still didn't have any answers and they sent me home once again. When the fever came back, I felt awful. My wife still wasn't taking it serious and insisting that it was still a panic attack. It wasn't until the fever persisted almost a week that they finally did a full body scan and discovered that I had a severe sinus infection. The infection was so bad because the doctors initially wasted their time diagnosing me with panic attacks instead of looking for the real issue. I pay a fortune for private health care and I want to be taken serious. It took weeks to recover from their negligence. I thought my wife would be more concerned, but her behavior made me realize I need to get away from her. Every time I needed to go to the hospital, she was irritated and acted like it was a burden to drive me. Even after the infection was diagnosed, she still continued to insist that it was from the panic attacks. Asking her to drive me anywhere made it feel like it was a big deal. They advised me to get surgery to prevent future infections. I had it on the 21st. I was told to monitor my symptoms and go to the hospital if I began to feel off. Over the next 2 days, I had pain in my face, and last night the symptoms worsened. I asked her to drive me to the hospital, and she got mad and began to stomp around the house. When I questioned her, she had no answer. She seems to be convinced that I'm just a drama queen who's having panic attacks despite having surgery and having a sinus infection. She eventually drove me to the hospital, and the doctor confirmed that I had a small infection starting in my surgery area. Once again, I was right, and to be honest, this opened up my eyes, and I wanted to divorce her. If I thought she was in danger, I would do anything for her, but the way she's acted and her cold and indifferent behavior made me realize that she does not feel the same towards me. Am I an asshole? You're not an asshole. You're entitled to feel like that, and you don't have to be married to somebody if you don't want to. It's not unrealistic or unreasonable to want your partner, especially somebody you've committed to for the rest of your life, to want to make sure that you're okay and take care of you just like you would do for her. You're not an asshole for feeling like that at all, in my humble opinion. But as always, tell me what you guys think in the comments. Hit the share button, comment, and hit the like button. Thank you.